Hello Pisces, welcome to your reading today. This will be a timeless reading. I am posting this in the month of March if that's meaningful to you, but it is timeless from whenever you see it. As you may know, if you've already seen any of my birth sign readings, I do a different spread each month for each of the birth signs, just to give you a different flavor, mix things up and keep it new for you. This month we're doing something very different. For this reading, we've got 3 piles. We're going to use the Tarot of the Abyss for 1 pile. We're going to use the Good Fortune Tarot, which has a Tarot de Marseille flavor to it, so it's not entirely traditional. It's kind of a combination of a Rider-Waite-Smith and a Tarot de Marseille type of style artwork and interpretation, which is neat. And then this is Soha Mystic Tarot, and it's just kind of a traditional tarot deck with a circus vibe. I'll flip over the first card in each deck. They're shuffled. These are just random cards to help you pick your deck. So the first card is going to be the 4 of Swords from the Tarot of the Abyss. The second deck, oh my goodness, 4 of Swords from Tarot de Marseille. I did not do this. I should have shuffled to show you that. Okay, King of Cups is our card for the Soha Mystic Tarot. Okay, so one of these is your deck. Go ahead and pause it, concentrate on it, pick whichever deck you think resonates most with you, and I'll be back for your read. Okay, we're going to start with the Tarot of the Abyss. I may or may not pull clarifying cards for this reading. Haven't decided yet. We'll see what I feel moved to do as we progress through the reading. So right now, I'd like to make sure I'm concentrating on a current situation for anyone in the sign of Pisces. While this is a general reading, I want to pull an energy that needs to hear a message from me today. Current situation for anyone in the sign of Pisces. 1 card, please. 8 of Swords reverse. I like an 8 of Swords reverse. You've gotten yourself out of a situation recently, and it's not a situation where like you've worked hard and saved money and that got you out of a situation. That might also be true. But this 8 of Swords is really about the inner work, the hard work that you've done to kind of shift your perspective on a situation. Pull yourself out of a situation where you felt trapped, and now you're really focused very much on like the opposite energy of an upright 8 of Swords, truly like focusing on the pleasures in life, taking care of yourself. So in a Swords upright, you see how, I love this deck. Do you see how wrapped up this person is? Just bound and hovering over these swords, just truly trapped. Although almost like these are coming from her, and her hair is kind of mixed in with these ties that aren't really tightly bound. There's a loose end, almost like a ribbon that can just come undone. If she were to unspin herself in the opposite direction, she could easily escape from this. And we often think of 8 of Swords as a challenge of our own making, or a cage of our own making. It has something to do with how we're perceiving the situation. We're making it worse than it actually is. And in the 8 of Swords, you've either recently escaped this type of mindset, or you're really stepping into this kind of carefree, self-focused energy. Like almost like there might be a situation around you where a lot of people would think you would be an 8 of Swords energy, but you're able to let it just roll right off your back, right? You're just, hey, that's just life. I'm rolling. I'm going to live this life. I'm going to keep on living no matter what happens. And I'm going to do what I need to do for me. take care of myself. I'm going to enjoy it. There's a little bit of hedonism in this, which in a good way, it could be overdone, but we're going to stay in the positive lane of setting boundaries, saying no so that you can focus on yourself first and enjoying the pleasures in life. Boy, there was a lot with that card that I really felt for you, Pisces. So let's see what we got. So what's the real situation? This might be an unpleasant fact. Okay, so the whole reading isn't going to be unpleasant, but this position, we may or may not get some difficult truths. What do we got here? 2 of Wands. Okay, this doesn't feel difficult. This feels like you've accomplished something. It may have something to do with why your current situation is a situation of looking after yourself and taking care of yourself. Like I don't want to say achieved a goal. That was initially the word that came to me. So maybe for some of you, you did achieve a long-term goal of some type. But I also feel for many, this is an energy of almost achieving a level of maturity or mental awareness around the circumstance that you're actually in and what that truly means for you. Almost like you've put down the need to please others in a way that you had been bearing so heavily before. And now you're looking out at all the possibilities and the future that's ahead of you. Like, I've done this. I have done this for myself. And you probably were 8 of Swords, many of you. I've kept myself trapped, and this was all this illusion, right? Maybe you bought into somebody else's illusion about this cage existing, and then you realized that's not real. I'm in control of my life. I can choose myself. And now you're looking at all the possibilities that are coming toward you. Factually, there's a lot of options here. That's the real situation, not an unpleasant one in my mind. Okay. So we're going to look at, shadowy pieces. Is there an illusion around your current situation, something that you really need to release? Ace of Cups, interesting. So Ace of Cups, I love that she's like releasing this water in this moon shape here. Thoughts you could release. I'm getting this saying, the phrase, wearing your heart on your sleeve. You may have been overgiving and it felt like that was a mistake, or felt like a relationship, partnership, friendship, even a work relationship was a little bit more than it actually was. There may be a little illusion around this here. It certainly has to do with love, your feelings of love, like pouring your heart out to somebody who I don't feel held that and carried it and cared for it in the way that you wanted it to be received. I think there might be a little more to this, but that's the general gist of that one for now. We're going to keep moving and we'll see what else comes out. I think we'll end up coming back to that a little bit. So what are your opportunities and chances in this current circumstance? I'm sure there's going to be something interesting here with this 8 of Swords reverse and this 2 of Wands. So what are your opportunities? 3 of Swords, healing from heartbreak. Healing, a lot of healing. That's lovely. So this I definitely view as healing if you look at her releasing these birds, right? You know that saying, if you if you love something, let it go, and if it comes back to you, it's meant to be, right? I get that vibe as I'm looking at her releasing these birds. I've never thought that before with this card, but I really do think that she's like letting these birds fly free, and that's part of this healing process for herself. So there may be a lot of release happening right now for you, releasing things that don't serve you. And it, like I said, we'll probably come back to this card. I do think it's a release around how much you've given your heart away and heartbreak around that. And maybe ruminating on mistakes and having a lot of regret around this and releasing all of that. So, you know, what's done is done. We all make mistakes and we all have regrets. And I feel like you're in a position where you're like weathered by the storm a little bit, but there's a future to look toward, and you're ready to look forward and not backward. That's part of this release and part of this celebration. I do see this as some type of celebration, celebrating yourself. I'm liking this, Pisces. Okay. Three of Cups. Very interesting for this reading. So like, this is kind of your action section, like what you can do, what your opportunities are. And this direction is more like, okay, this is the shadowy part, right? What's not helpful, what's helpful. And you're getting lots of cups in this side of the reading. And we have Three of Cups here. And kind of what you should forget, or, you know, don't rely on this. An unreliable goal right now, which is interesting that Three of Cups is here. And what this is saying to me is that you maybe have been leaning into relationships with others and relying on other people's, don't want to say generosity, but their willingness to help you, because that's what friends do for each other, right? But almost like, how do I say this? Like leaning too heavily on these partnerships or these relationships with other people to carry you through. I feel that it's really about a period of standing on your own 2 feet. It doesn't mean cutting off people, okay? That's not this at all. This abundance and love and friendship that you have in your life is wonderful. It doesn't mean cutting them off. But maybe if you're quick to vent to somebody anytime something negative happens, quick to reach out and say, oh, I can't do this. I can't do this. I need you to do this for me. I almost feel like this is asking you to pause and ask yourself if this is something you can handle on your own first. Not that you should never rely on other people, but it's almost a sign of, you know, what abundance can you create for yourself apart from the abundance that you clearly already have in relationships for others. Almost like a more well-rounded, developed inner self and confidence and inner reliance that will probably really bolster these relationships in the end. So it's not saying let go of relationships that serve you and are good for you, but it is almost encouraging you to lean on yourself a little bit more than you have in the past. And I think that has to do with trusting yourself. Healing and releasing may have something to do with that as well. Okay. Got a bunch of cards flipped over here, so we won't take those. What's next? So what should you do in your current situation? I don't know if you have a goal in mind right now. I think you're just living in this energy of hope. So what's helpful? What should you do right now? Look at that, 3 of Swords again. There's 2 3s in this deck. 2 3 of Swords. You can see this one is much more about heartbreak. You can see the agony in her face. And this one is much more about the mental aspect of healing. You know, almost like a lot of ruminating and a lot of thought on a situation. And what's helpful to you now is all of this healing energy. I think this release of the emotional heartbreak contributes to the release of that ruminating. Almost like you're beating yourself up. You're creating this guilt that doesn't need to be there. This, like, if only I had done this, if only it had been this way, you know, those kinds of thoughts. I feel like it's telling you that those aren't helpful for you. And so that this is a period of time where you can let those go. I'm almost feeling like this 3 of Cups here. I've got to say, I think some of you have been maybe in therapy, and not saying that you need to stop going to therapy, but that it's actually working really, really well for you. And, you know, maybe just have that conversation with your therapist on, is it time for you to move on? Is it time for you to cut back on the number of times you're seeing that person? You know, some therapists have this philosophy of never letting you go. And some are better about kind of pushing you out of that nest. And so maybe revisit that a little bit here if you're in that circumstance. I think that's for a small number of people. Okay, what is not going to be helpful for you? So we've got a lot of healing happening here, a lot of potential, but what's not going to be helpful for you right now? What do you need to avoid? Moving too quickly. Running away from something, right? This is you. These birds are flying away from this healing energy, moving too quickly towards maybe some of this energy here. Maybe you're discovering new hobbies and things like that. Certainly embrace those things, but don't be consumed by them in a way that they're distracting you and pulling you away from this healing, right? So you want to embrace kind of a slow moving energy instead of this, you know, I'm getting an energy of making lots of lists and completing lots of tasks and moving, and this feeling very good, like you're feeling free for the first time, and you've been looking towards the future and what you can do with the future, and you've got this long list of things that you've always wanted to do and just have never done for yourself, and you could move quickly in that direction. It could, however, be a mechanism of avoidance. What you really want to use this time for is true healing. We've got the 3 of Swords twice back to back. This is definitely a healing message for someone. Okay? All right, what's your final outcome? Too many cards, 1 card, final outcome. We've got the Fool. The outcome here, final outcome, is a new beginning, a hopeful new beginning. The Fool I see as like the teenager of the tarot, setting forth into the world, not just completely carefree. I mean, we're always focused on this cliff that they're about to walk off. They're not even noticing. They're got their head up in the air. This Fool has their eyes closed, not seeing where they're going because they're so trusting in the world ahead. The sun is shining brightly and they're packed. Now this particular Fool is carrying a stick, and you can't really see the the bag that's tied to this stick that they're carrying with them. But they're well on their way onto a new journey. This is the beauty of the Fool card, a new beginning that you're healed from the past and you're fully prepared to move to something new, like a new adventure, and to feel like you're new again, right? Feel that that lack of anxiety or hesitation that comes with trying something new. I'm not saying there won't be any fear involved whatsoever, but like the excitement is so great that it dampens that fear of what might be in your way. So that's a wonderful outcome. Okay, Pisces, for pile 1, I hope that this reading resonated with you. If you like this reading or like to see others like it, I'd appreciate a like or subscribe. Okay, this is pile 2. Remember pile 2, we had the Good Fortune Tarot, and we also drew the Four of Swords from the Good Fortune Tarot. I'm going to shuffle the cards a little, and then we'll get started with your reading. Just concentrating on anyone in the sign of Pisces who's looking for a message from me. Well, this is... Okay, looking for a message from me. Anyone in the sign of Pisces who needs to hear a message. What's the current situation for this group of Pisces? One card, please. Thank you. Three of Wands reverse. So this is about maybe a little bit of a stall in a journey. It could be not wanting to move on from a situation or being blocked from moving on to something new. It could be a delay in travel plans or a delay in making a move of some type. This could be any type of move. It could be a career move, a job change, a change from one position to another, like a promotion of some type. It could be a move, like a physical move, a home. There's just a delay in this move of some type here. Delay in a journey, delay in a trip. Okay, so what do we need to know? What's a fact about the situation? Just note this card may bring out an unpleasant reality, but doesn't need to be unpleasant. It might be, but it doesn't mean the whole reading will be. It's just a fact that we want to know about that will help us understand this current situation a little bit better. So what's the real situation here? I need one card. Okay, this card wants to come. Three of Pentacles reverse. So some type of partnership or collaboration that didn't work out. I could see why. Look at here with the 2 threes. So the journey or the situation where you're not moving on has to do with this collaboration not working out. This could be many things. You know, when I gave all of these examples of the things that you might have been wanting to move on from or planning to move on to, there's just as many scenarios for how this collaboration broke down to prevent this moving on. I'm just going to give an example. This doesn't have to be the exact situation, but say you were planning on moving to a new company, you know, the beginning of 25. Maybe you've been with an organization for a while, you wanted to finish out the year, now at the start of a new year, you're ready to move on to a new position in a new company. And something didn't work out. Like maybe you had already been talking with individuals at this organization about you moving on to this new position, and then something changed and that position disappeared. Like I said, it could be a journey of some type. You know, maybe there's a business partnership and there was an interest in growing, expanding, unable to grow and expand. plan to move to a house. Something didn't work out in a collaboration of some type, so you're now no longer able to purchase that home. These are just examples of that energy, but I think you can understand that energy, right? So something's blocked in moving into something that you had planned on doing, and it has to do with a collaboration of some type not necessarily working out. Okay, so we've got the Emperor energy here, and this is actually an illusion or something that you need to let go of or release. What you need to let go of and release has to do with this Emperor energy. Is this your energy or someone else's? Tell me more about this Emperor, please. We've got the Hermit, so you can see the card. I got the Hermit and the Nine of Wands in reverse. I think this energy here might be, because it's an illusion or something that you need to release, I think it's this expectation. It may be an expectation that's been set too high. I don't know if it's for yourself or someone else. It's an expectation of this Emperor energy, or even an expectation around what an Emperor actually does or means. It's an illusion around an Emperor being somebody who's just sitting and resting and enjoying all of their, kingdom behind them, and they can just sit and rest and enjoy this kingdom here with very little effort, so it seems in this card. But we actually know that an Emperor has to work very hard not only to achieve Emperor energy, but also to maintain it. And I think that with this Hermit card here, spending time in thought or really concentrating on something, and this Nine of Wands in reverse, I'm getting an energy that almost like an illusion that you had achieved this place where you could just rest. Like, I think this was the Three of Wands, that you thought you were going to be able to move on to a new season, almost like you had reached the pinnacle of the mountain and now you could just camp there and rest in this Emperor energy and spend time just in thought, enjoying the view, not working so hard because you've fought really hard to get to where you are, and putting down the need to fight anymore, just resting instead of fighting. I feel that was an expectation that you had. What else flipped over here? We've got King of Cups in reverse. I just wanted to pull that out. King of Cups in reverse came out at some point too. And that's some emotional disruption, definitely an energy of not having control of one's emotions, really being very up and down, maybe having a lot of outbursts. I don't know, this may be someone around you who's having a lot of emotional outbursts right now, possibly related to this collaboration not working out. Something not working out, and I think mostly it's in an area of finance, career, or money, where there's a lot of difficult emotions around this right now. It's disrupted your ability to move on, and it's just certainly eliminating what you perceive to be this possibility of this Emperor. It may even be your energy. You're very frustrated that you're not able to do this, and you had expected to, almost like, I feel like an early retirement energy, right? And you're very frustrated because you thought that was a possibility for you, and something has happened to really put that at a stall. Okay, so what opportunities and chances do you have here? So what are the opportunities here in this part of the reading? Four of Wands. That's a pretty good energy. It's a pretty good energy. You have an opportunity here for a new partnership, a new level of commitment. It's going to bring a lot of joy and happiness. It doesn't have to be a marriage or a new relationship. It doesn't have to do anything with romance, but it could. It could have something to do with a romantic partnership. Oftentimes people say the Four of Wands is the marriage card, but it's really about commitment and being in commitment with other people in a way that's very joyful and well-rooted, like community, right? So I think there's an opportunity for either a new collaboration or a way around this challenge that reinvigorates that collaboration to move in a more positive direction. Like it's been renewed in some way. I feel that with many, we're moving from 3 to 4 energy here. And so for many people, there's something that will be discovered. You know, in times of the greatest difficulty is when the greatest discoveries are made. It's almost as if this challenge or disruption may have been there to really put your feet to the fire, prevent you from making this mistake of thinking you were ready for this here and protecting you from it, frankly, because it could have put you in a situation where you weren't quite ready for that and you'd maybe have to return to work later in life or find yourself in more difficulty than you really want. But I see there's an opportunity or a chance here for a new commitment, a new partnership, right? Like I said, it could be reinvigorating this partnership that already exists. It could be bringing people together, bringing people in who are close to you to collaborate with. There's some sort of partnership commitment that's being made, like really, really deeply rooted, lots of positive energy from a group or community to support and bring that support to you and around you in a way that brings life back to the situation. Look at all of this fruit here on the top of these wands. That's the abundance and life that's being brought back to the situation. That's wonderful energy. Okay, so what you should forget is Page of Swords. Somebody was dishonest and somebody was very childish, naive, did something that they should not have done. And that may have been what caused a lot of these problems. And you're being advised to really move past that. I see that this was a temporary situation. It was an individual. You may have parted ways with this individual, but like we see here, you're rebuilding, maybe with other people. Or maybe there's some type of forgiveness going on here. I think that just depends on your situation. But clearly somebody made a big mistake, a naive mistake, a very childish, selfish mistake. There was a deception, dishonesty, just weren't really being clear about what was happening. And that was costly. But it is advising you to move on from this, because putting your time and energy here is not going to help you. This is where you need to go, and this is where you need to kind of steer clear, okay? So what's helpful to you now? What else is helpful to you now? We've got the Lovers in reverse. Can I get clarification on the Lovers, please? This card wants to come. Ace of Wands. Okay, this is telling me that there is a creative possibility. There's some new potential that is going to come out of this situation. It's going to be very helpful for you. But it's not even going to be a choice. It's not about choosing to move in one direction or the other very strongly. It's like taking all of this creative energy that's coming from so many people and finding a way to unify that and put that energy into a singular focus that will benefit you. It's as if you have all of this bee energy around you right now. That's such positive energy. Support, help, real hardworking energy, real creative energy in this wand. I mean, look at that with the Four of Wands. This is a lot of wand energy. So fiery, passionate, creative, lots of potential. And these might be your community or people that you're committing to, people that you're bringing in to your situation that are going to help you solve this creative problem. And there may be a lot of ideas coming at you, a lot of recommendations, a lot of suggestions. And it's telling you that maybe you don't need to choose. Maybe there's a way to bring it all together in a very collaborative way. Maybe there are different elements of this tree. The tree is the goal, not just one branch of the tree. That's the energy that I'm getting here. I feel like that might resonate with somebody. I don't know exactly what it means, but that's the information that's coming through. So I think that if it's for you, you'll know what it means. Not helpful for you right now. Okay, what you should avoid, what does not serve you, and it's following the status quo. If you think that there is a standard way of doing something and that's the only way that you're going to get out of this situation, this is telling you that's not the way. The way is something creative and new, a little bit out of the box. And the final outcome is Two of Wands. The final outcome of this situation is you are going to be grounded in your world again. You're going to be standing firmly on whatever this circumstance is. You're going to conquer it, and you're going to be standing on top of your own world, standing on top of the world, grounded. And you'll have the ability then to choose which direction you want to go next. Because it's like there is a traditional wand energy, or Two of Wands card, I should say, where she's standing and she's looking out over her kingdom, right? She's standing in her castle, looking out over her kingdom. And this is what she's established. This is what she's created, but now what can she do next? This is in somewhat a little bit of a different perspective, but this is Tarot de Marseille, slightly different. She's standing on top of the world. Well, she's standing on top of her castle, the castle that she's built. She's not rooting one staff in the present and then holding the other towards the future, what's going to be there. She's holding on to both of them equally. I am hanging on to what I've created, and I'm also grasping this energy of the future, what I'm going to bring toward me and bring into my world. It's still a question of choice, right? You're going to have now choices that you can make as a result of all of this energy, this action, whatever it is that you're taking. So exciting. I'd really love to hear what it is. If you're interested in leaving that in a comment, I'd love to know. If this reading was for you, resonated with you, or if you'd like to see another reading like it, I would appreciate a like or subscribe. Okay, Pisces, final deck that we're doing a reading for. Sorry, I had this upside down. We have the King of Cups in the Soha Mystic Tarot deck. So if this is your deck, this is your reading. I'm going to put the card back in the deck and shuffle a little bit, and then we'll get into your reading. Okay, so this reading is going to be for the sign of Pisces. I am asking for current situation. Please bring me the energy for someone who needs to hear this reading, current energies for anyone in the sign of Pisces. Ooh, that card came. We're taking it. Justice. I have been seeing justice in a lot of readings lately. Justice is your card for this reading. Okay. So it could be for somebody who's in the middle of a legal situation. That's kind of your obvious read for justice. But also, it could be seeking some type of justice or balance in your current situation. It doesn't have to be legal. But it could be that the situation does require some, I want to say discourse. That's the word, but it seems too fancy. Like, there's some action that needs to be taken that not everyone is going to like. But it is about speaking your mind, standing your ground, taking an action, doing something that brings balance or justice back to a situation. Okay, so let's find out what the facts about the situation are. This might be a slightly unpleasant card. We don't know. We're not going to take all of the cards. Let's try this again. I need a fact, something to understand about this situation. Pleasant or unpleasant, it doesn't matter. We just need to know what this situation is about. A little more information, please. Okay, one card, please. One card. Here we go. Ace of Wands. Fact about this situation is there is a passionate new beginning available to you. It's like being delivered on a platter. Why is this about justice? Maybe this new situation feels like justice because I almost get an energy of being trapped in a situation or feeling trapped in a situation where the person who was really putting that energy out there toward you, making you feel trapped, was doing it and undermining you in a way that was making you feel like you weren't good enough and that you would never have this opportunity. It would never come to you. And now here it is. And this is the justice. But that energy, when people put that energy into the world where they're like, you're not good enough. Like, no, I pay you way more than anyone would ever pay you. You've got it good here. We are so helpful and flexible for you. Oh yeah, you want to go somewhere else? Good luck. Good luck trying to find work somewhere that's as good as it is here. Same in a relationship, with kind of a tyrant partner who's just really eating away at your confidence. And it's really a tactic to keep you stuck with them because they're afraid of losing you. So they have to get in your head and make you believe that you're not good enough to have anything new or anything good for yourself. That's how they keep you. It can happen in a personal relationship. It can happen in a work relationship. But this opportunity, this is a fact. That's here for you. And that is certainly not unpleasant. The only unpleasant thing about this situation is whoever has you feeling out of balance. Okay, so too many cards. We're going to get one card on, what you need to release. Do we have any illusions or anything going on in this situation? Again, with all of the cards. These are kind of newer cards and they stick together and I really struggle with them popping out. when they're new. But you got to work with them, and then they'll start working with you. Okay, we got a card here. We've got the Devil in reverse. The Devil in reverse. I love a Devil in reverse. But this is in some thoughts that you need to let go of. And I think the thoughts you need to let go of are whatever this person put in your head, making you believe. Like, I get this energy so strongly here, and I don't know why it's coming through. There are lots of ways I could interpret these cards. Let me just say that first and foremost. But this is coming through as the strongest message, and so this is the message I'm delivering. And that is, somebody's gotten into your head and made you believe you weren't good enough, and that is also part of what you need to release. Like, they've made you believe that you were really selfish, maybe that you were greedy, that you put all your time and focus and energy into something that you shouldn't, and that was not good for you, or not good for anyone else. You know, all of that devil energy. When you think about the toxic things that we have in our lives, we all have toxic things in our life. We all have some element of devil energy in our life at any given time, right? It's when people get in your head and tell you the things that are actually okay for you are bad for you, I get that energy here. And you need to let go of that and stop believing that everything that you were doing for yourself was selfish. That was an illusion and part of a trap that was set for you. Loud and clear for me. Okay, what are the opportunities and chances you've got here? 7 of Swords. You've got an opportunity. Oh, thank you. We've got 2 cards here. An Ace of Cups. Sorry, I'm getting confirmation. Give me a minute. Bubbles in the throat make it difficult to talk. Okay, so 7 of Swords is you have an opportunity to create a defense for yourself, to set a boundary for yourself. And with that opportunity is a new love of some type. It could be a new romantic relationship, certainly easy way to read that card, but doesn't have to be. It could be a new love of any kind that's helping you set this boundary for yourself. What a great opportunity or chance. And the new love that could be coming in could be something that is a new passion for you. This new opportunity here could be the new love, could be a new romantic partner. It could also be a passionate new beginning and a new career, a new job. It could be freeing yourself from a tyrant marriage, a tyrant relationship, and looking at all the possibilities that are out there for you and just loving it, finding hobbies, finding yourself again, finding things to love again. Whatever this newness that is coming towards you, it's giving you so many beautiful, beautiful things and giving you the confidence and the ability to kind of set boundaries and protect yourself. Love it so much. Okay, what do we need to forget? What do we need to let go of right now? Oh my goodness. Okay, we're doing this again with these cards. Maybe if I shuffle like this. I don't like shuffling like that, but this card is coming out also with 2 cards. 2 of Pentacles and the Tower came out in what you need to let go of. I'm glad for these pairings actually, because they're very helpful and very good pairings here for this reading. So what you need to let go of is a lot of juggling, a lot of anxiety around juggling. There was probably a very difficult ending, something you were not expecting. But it was a positive tower in the sense that it helped move you in this direction. Now, the tower may not have been a positive experience in and of itself. And what it's asking you to do is to let go to the best of your ability of the actual situation here, of what happened here. Don't be juggling thoughts about what could have been, what happened, feeling sorry for yourself, thinking that if you had only changed things, life would be easier now. You know, there's some threat or some element here that you might be tempted to reflect upon and bring into your positive energy, and it might drain you a little bit and bring you back down, like pulling you back into the past. So that is one of the energies. I'm actually getting multiple messages here from these cards. The other message that I'm getting from these cards is this: you're very excited by these new opportunities and everything that's available here for you. And this excitement is going to feel so good and so wonderful that you're going to want to do it all and take on too much. And you need to let that go so it doesn't create a tower moment for you. So don't overburden yourself. Don't try to do it all at once, as much as it might seem amazing, and all you can think about is, oh, look over there and look over there and look at that over here. Like, kind of pull yourself back a little bit if you can, rein yourself in a little so that you're not burning the candle on both ends, because that will burn you out and create a tower moment for you. Okay, what should you do? What's going to be helpful in this situation? One card for what will be helpful. The Lovers. We got the Lovers in reverse in this position for another, we'll say deck 2. But we've got the Lovers upright for you. So I don't usually do romance readings, but when it comes through, I won't ignore it. I do think for many of you, this is romantic in nature. It is a romantic partnership that's coming through for you. Lovers, like I said, is not automatic romance for me. Lovers is a choice. Lovers is a choice card. But we have Ace of Wands, Ace of Cups, and Lovers in this path, on this side of the path. You know, we got the situation, and there's two sides to any situation. This is kind of what you want to avoid, and this is what you want to move towards, okay? This is what you don't see and what you want to make sure you're not ignoring so you don't stumble upon these obstacles. And this is the direction that you want to put your energy into. And we've got a lot of love and positive energy in this area of the reading. So definitely could be a romantic partnership for some people. Strong romantic partnership vibe. If not, it could be a friendship or some type of work partnership that grows into a really, really good friendship. It's like you're meeting someone that you really, really click with, that's going to help you move in this direction in a very, very positive way. The Lovers is a wonderful balance to Justice as well. It being a choice card, right? About two sides of a situation, an equal give and take. So there's an equal give and take partnership that's coming, and that's really going to be helpful for you. It's going to help you reach your goal. It's really the best possible outcome in this situation, I think. Okay, so what's not going to be helpful? Are you kidding me? Deck 2. I think that some of you need to watch the reading for deck 2 because they also got the Hierophant in this position. I did that reading already and you've seen me shuffle, so this is not an accident. And what's not helpful, same. I think the message is the same for both of these readings here, and what's not helpful is trying to follow the status quo or do what everyone tells you you should be doing in this situation. There is something new and creative and something that's like within you, deeply rooted within you and your energy that only you can know through your intuition to be right or wrong or a good fit for you. And there may be a tendency to rely on status quo or tradition, what people generally do in a situation like this, feeling like if you follow that well-worn path, that's the real way to do this. That's the real way to get to the end result that you may have in mind right now. And this might feel a little too wishy-washy for you, right? But it's actually saying no, that's not the way to go. That traditional route, definitely not the way to go here. Okay, so what's the final outcome here in this situation? This card wants to jump out. We've got the Five of Swords in reverse. I love that. That's an outcome of peace. It's the battle has completed. The conflict that has either raged within you or does exist between you and some other energy over here has come to a close. And you're moving into an energy of peace. All of the swords have been laid down and there's no more battle. It's this love energy. That's very healing, and what a wonderful future to be walking into. A future where the battle's over, peace, laying down your arms, just walking into that sunset. That's beautiful. Okay, Pisces, if this was your reading or you liked this reading and would like to see others like it, I'd appreciate a like or subscribe. Thank you so much.